Hello you beautiful human, I am Xanthi and today we are going to be discussing what the word transgender, transsexual, and transvestite mean and the differences between them. Before we start this video, I just want to let you know that I am making this video because my last week's video on the letter T in the LGBTQIA2+ community acronym, there was some incorrect information in that video, so I just wanted to make a video that was correct and had better information. So I did make a list, a nice script here, so if you see me holding it, that's why, my reference notes here. So, first of all, we're just going to be talking about the definition of transgender. Transgender means that someone was born into a sex that they do not identify with. So the gender that they identify with, or their gender orientation, does not match the sex that they were assigned at birth. Transgender does not mean that someone has to either be boy or girl, transitioning to either of those. Someone could transgender into non-binary, female, male, and any other gender that they would identify with. So don't just assume it's only the two genders, it's any gender that they identify with. I just want to talk about the difference between the word sex and gender and how they're actually very different, and they should not be used in the same sense because they're not the same word or meaning. The word sex is referred to the physical appearance of one's body. So the sexual reproductive organs that someone has, that would determine their sex, which would either be male or female, or intersex, which we would talk about later in this whole acronym thing. Gender refers to the gender roles that society has assigned to us. So since I am a female who is also female sex, that means that my body, my reproductive organs are female, and I also identify with the gender roles that females have in society. So I am feminine and I identify with the gender female, if that makes any sense. Someone who is transgender would have reproductive organs that do not match the gender that they identify with, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's move on to the next section of this video. So what exactly is transsexual and how is it different than transgender? From my research, it looks like the words transsexual, or the term transsexual, is used for people who have gotten medical assistance transitioning into the gender that they identify with. So their sexual reproductive organs would match the gender identity that they identify with. Something else that I want to mention is just to not assume that someone who has gotten medical help transitioning would want to be referred to with the term transsexual. Always ask and always make sure that they are comfortable with how you refer to them, because someone might want to be referred to as transgender instead of transsexual. Alright, so now that we've talked about transgender, transsexual, now let's talk about transvestite. Transvestite is a term used to describe someone who identifies as one gender but dresses in the opposing gender. So let's say, I am female and I identify with that gender. I would wear clothes that are generally thought to be worn by men, like suits. So that would be me being a transvestite, that I feel more comfortable wearing the opposite sex clothing and kind of showing that. So basically, one person can identify as one gender, but then they dress in clothing that is associated with the other gender, stereotypically. Now, something that I found in my research is I was questioning whether cross-dressing and transvestite are the same thing. In fact, they are. Cross-dressing is just the more politically correct term that is used in today's date, but again, don't assume that someone wants to be referred to as cross-dresser. Make sure that they're okay with how you present them and how you talk about them. Alright, so now that we've talked about what each term means and what the difference between them is, we can talk about pronouns. Pronouns are very important in the transgender community, and I want to show you, first of all, why they're important and how you can help normalize sharing your pronouns so that it's easier for transgender people in that community to share their pronouns and feel less judged. Now, when you think about pronouns, you're probably thinking, oh, they're wanting to be called she instead of he, or he instead of she. But they can also be preferred to be called they, them, sie, zer, and different pronouns to help them feel more comfortable. And I know sometimes it's hard to remember their pronouns, and that's okay. You just need to apologize and work toward remembering and using it normally. I would feel very uncomfortable if someone referred to me as he, him, because I don't identify with that gender. I much prefer being called she, her, as I do identify with the female gender. So something you can do to help normalize specifying your pronouns is if you have social media like Facebook or Instagram or any other platform that you can put a little description in your page or your bio, either your description or in your bio, same deal. You can put, I don't know, random stuff that you already have there, like, ooh, I like sports, ooh, I like theater, ooh, I like reading. But in the first line, or maybe even the second, put your pronouns. You don't even have to say, I prefer she, her. You can just put she, her. So in my Instagram, I'll show you a picture here. I have she, her in my bio. And that just helps everyone know, oh, Xanthi prefers to be called she, her, and she identifies with the gender of female. And so even if you are cisgender, meaning that you identify with the gender that you were born with, or the sex that you were born with that is associated with the gender, and you feel comfortable with that, like I do, I am cisgender, you can still put your pronouns up, because no matter if you're cisgender or you're transgender or transsexual or non-binary, it doesn't really change why you should not put pronouns there. No matter who you are, you can still put your pronouns there just to let everyone know. And if everyone starts doing it, it's just going to become a normal thing. So kind of like in those camp games where they're like, ooh, introduce yourself to the whole circle or whatever. And they're like, okay, say your name, grade, and something that you like. It could change to, hey, say your name, your pronouns, your grade, and something that you like. So I'd be like, oh, I am Xanthi, I am graduated high school, and I prefer, my pronouns are she, her, and I like making videos. And so it can just become a normalized thing that we just do in our everyday lives, like we do so many other things. So there's something that you can do to help normalize pronouns and hopefully help the community feel more comfortable to share their pronouns and help cisgender people know how to address them. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am so happy that I got to research this and really dive deep into what all of this means. And again, if there's anything that I could add or that you can add, just comment down below. And if anything I said was incorrect or you have differing opinions, again, just leave a comment down below. I am still learning, and yeah, so I just want to educate myself and educate you as best as I can. So I really hope that this helped. If you liked it, please leave a like and share this with anyone that you think would enjoy this video, and I'll see you in this video here. See you there.